Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and I'll be reading 1 Samuel 30 of the King James Version Bible, and it reads, And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag and burnt it with fire, and had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away, and went on their way. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burnt with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept, until they had no more power to weep. And David's two wives were taken captives, Ahinoam and the Jezreelitess, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his son and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. And David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, I pray thee, bring me hither the ephod. And Abiathar brought thither the ephod to David. And David inquired at the Lord, saying, Shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, Pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. So David went, he and the 600 men and that were with him, and came to the brook Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 men abode behind, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor. And they found an Egyptian in the field, and brought him to David, and gave him bread, and he did eat, and they made him drink water, and they gave him a piece of a cake of figs, and 2 clusters of raisins. And when he had eaten, his spirit came again to him, for he had eaten no bread, nor drink any water 3 days and 3 nights. And David said unto him, To whom belongest thou, and whence art thou? And he said, I am a young man of Egypt, servant to an Amalekite, and my master left me, because 3 days agone I fell sick. We made an invasion upon the south of the Cherethites, and upon the coast which belongeth to Judah, and upon the south of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire. And David said to him, Canst thou bring me down to this company? And he said, Swear unto me by God that thou wilt neither kill me nor deliver me into the hands of my master, and I will bring thee down to this company. And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking and dancing, because of all the great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines and out of the land of Judah. And David smote them from the twilight even unto the evening of the next day, and there escaped not a man of them, save 400 young men, which rode upon camels and fled. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives. And there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil, nor anything that they had taken to them. David recovered all. And David took all the flocks and the herds which they drave before those other cattle, and said, This is David's spoil. And David came to the 200 men, which were so faint that they could not follow David, whom they had made also to abide at the brook Besor, and they went forth to meet David, and to meet the people that were with him. And when David came near to the people, he saluted them. Then answered all the wicked men and men of Belial, of those that went with David, and said, Because they went not with us, we will not give them aught of the spoil that that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart. Then said David, Ye shall not do so, my brethren, with that which the Lord hath given us, who hath preserved us and delivered the company that came against us into our hand. For who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is that goeth down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the stuff. They shall part alike. And it was so from that day forward that he made it a statute and an ordinance for Israel unto this day. And when David came to Ziklag, he sent of the spoil unto the elders of Judah, even to his friends, saying, Behold, a present for you of the spoil of the enemies of the Lord, to whom which were in Bethel, and to them which were in the south, South Ramoth, and to them which were in Jeter, and to them which were in Aroer, and to them which were in Siphmoth, and to them which were in Eshtemoa, and to them which were in Rachel, and to them which were in the cities of the Jerahmeelites, and to them which were in the cities of the Kenites, and to them which were in Ormah, and to them which were in Chorashan, and to them which were in Athash, and to them which were in Hebron, and to all the places where David himself and his men were wont to haunt. Alright, girl. Alright, guys. Wont to haunt. Okay? Alright, so we see here that while David went to battle, his place was actually attacked, and Ziklag and his wife and the wives of the men that were with him, his 600 men, were taken captive, and in that by the Amalekites. And in that we see where he was not hasty to go and retrieve their wives and their flocks and whatever else that the Amalekites took from their land. But he inquired of the Lord. He did not lean on his own understanding. He asked the Lord for guidance. And I think that says a lot, because a lot of us, we wouldn't have done such. We would have just went hot-headed into battle to retrieve what was stolen from us. And this should be a lesson to us, that we should not be quick to run into battle, but we should sit and ask the Lord for guidance on how to tackle a situation, because it's not just a battle, it's situations that we find ourselves in. When you have a hard decision to make, you seek out the Lord for his guidance, because he knows everything. And this here just confirms that you need to seek the Lord out. And another important thing to note here, I cannot overlook it, is the fact that when the men that went with him, the 400 men that went with him to retrieve all their properties and also their wives and children, said that they would not give to the men that had to stay back at Besor any property that they had, any flocks or anything. They would just give them back their wives and their children. David said, no, it is not so, because it was not you who delivered yourself and recovered all these things that were once ours, but it was the Lord that did so. And as the Lord giveth, so shall we share evenly among the men, the 200 men that were too faint and remained at Besar. And that goes to show you that sometimes, even though you are working with team members and you feel as if you carry most of the weight, it's not by your will why you're able to carry the weight, but because God has carried you through so you can help to carry your team along with you. And in doing that, the Lord bless you and the Lord wish for you to be rewarded in the same way, because He's the one that gave it to you. So He wishes for it to be shared evenly. And that speaks a lot to me. And so I wanted to share that. So whenever you're doing something, you're in a team, whatever kind of team it is, because there are different type of teams. There are work teams, there are teams meaning your family, there are teams meaning your friends. Whatever team you're in and you're playing your role, play it to the best of your ability. Okay? If you are the organizer, be the best organizer you can be for the group. Okay? If you are the empath of the group, then be the best empath you can for your group. Okay, whatever your role is, just do it to the best of your ability, and know that the reward is not for you to claim but for the Lord, because everything that we do should be to exalt the Lord. And so that's what we do it for, so that the Lord would be exalted through us, because it's not of our will and our accord, but only because of the grace of God why we can actually do these things. And so we ought to let Him get the praise in everything. Alright guys, so I'm gonna leave you right there. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you're alerted whenever a new audio video is posted. Guys, remember to leave your thoughts, your comments, and your revelations down below in the comment section. Have yourselves a blessed day, and remember to keep your salvation. And if you've not yet gained it, then seek it. There's no better time to begin than the present. Have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.